everyone. Me and Will are back today for a Marvel Plus talk on Hawkeye episode 4, right? Oh, God.
Yeah,
2 more episodes, Will.
yeah, that's
The,
that's wild.
yeah, I know. I don't know. Like, I think this whole month went fast, like
hmm
way. And I guess kind of get into it. Like, what's your thoughts on this episode of Hawkeye? And do you think it's the best, or where is it at for you?
I don't know if it's the best, but it was fun. I don't know. And we'll talk about it more at some point, I'm sure. But I thought that Yelena's introduction felt a little shoehorned.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
was kind of shocked about that.
yeah,
I
but I'm hoping next episode they'll like justify it a bit more.
Yeah. Hopefully we get her to have more scenes with Clint
Yeah.
in the show, because I think that for me is more important. And yeah, we'll get into Elena and her role in episode 4. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. I thought this was a good episode. I think it still continues the quality of the show. Um, I think it's just definitely second best after episode 3, but I just felt like this was filler. I
hmm
feel like, but well, it's a good filler by having good character development for Kate and Clint in this episode, especially towards the end. And I just feel like, well, I guess the one thing I was disappointed was the whole Jack thing, the swordsman thing, and
hmm
like we didn't address any of like we didn't go to the route of, okay, he was a mentor for Clint in the comics, so it's um okay, like he was just there, and then I don't know, like it just felt flat for me. I was like, oh, okay, you know,
hmm
despite the scene with him, with Kate's mom, and then of course the stepfather, Jack, who is the swordsman. And I like that whole scene, especially towards that end of the scene where Kate's mom, was talking to Clint about, don't get my daughter or I say, get my daughter hurt, and she's not a superhero, and just remember how your friend, Natasha, end up with, of course, being dead and Endgame and stuff like that. I thought that
hmm
was cool, but overall, I was very disappointed how we began with this episode, just in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Um, and also I hate when they like end an episode on a cliffhanger, and then
Yes.
the second the next episode starts, all the tension is like removed.
Yeah, like, I thought we were going to have an action scene, or or something like, okay, he tests his Hawkeye skills, and
hmm
none of that. And I I just and then I guess we'll get into more theories, because like I don't know who's the villain of this show, and I just wish we kind of get it right away, because I don't
Yeah,
like we're heading to that, like, Mephisto and like theories again, because I
yeah. It's they're taking too long to reveal who the antagonist is, like, which means the antagonist won't be like developed enough because we're already 2/3 of the way through the show. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, or the problem, like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with
hmm
the undeveloped villain, with Flag Smasher and stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's having a similar problem to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where there's
Mhm.
too many plot threads for a show that's only 6 episodes.
Yes, that's very true. Um, yeah, I guess um, and I think surprisingly for me, unlike Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think they're doing a better job of developing characters than what that show did for me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
I
hitting.
agree. I, yeah,
Yeah.
I think Echo is they've given more of a background for her than they did for any of the antagonists. Well, other than Walker
Mhm.
in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So
Yes.
you're more invested in her. And then the tracksuit mafia, unlike the Flag Smashers, like they're there for like comic relief. So they
Yes.
still serve a purpose when they're not fleshed out. Whereas the Flag Smashers are just like nameless, like
People.
they had names, but no one remembers them. Uh, and
Yes.
yeah, like they're just there, you know.
Yeah. Um, yeah, there was there, and then also you have another problem like with superhero films is like you also have a returning villain, of course, with Simo, right? And
Right.
like we're also like continuing his development from Captain America Civil War, and like that adds another sort of problem of like, oh my god, we have to do this, and this. It's just um
Yeah.
but I agree with your assessment, Will, about how like we know who's the important villain do we need to focus on. And of course, Echo, we did a good job with that. And then like you mentioned before, the trash suit mafia. Oh my god.
hmm
It's kind of like Claw from Black Panther. Like they're like the B plot, but like it connects to the A plot,
Right.
the story. So yeah.
Yeah. But then, like, I mean, there's definitely going to be a turn where either Bishop's mom or
Kingpin.
Swordsman. Yeah, I'm not even getting to Kingpin yet. But like, when the reveal comes that no one will be
Yeah.
surprised by that either the mom or
The dad.
the mom's fiance, is evil. Um, I feel like there's not going to be enough time to like flesh out their motivation for being villains.
Yeah. Ugh.
Um, and then on top of that, you got Echo and Yelena and the tracksuits and possibly Kingpin.
Yeah.
And like none of them feel like they've been justified except for Echo.
Yeah. Yeah. I yeah. I guess I'm kind of curious, like Echo, like, well, I guess she's gonna be like an anti-hero, I
Yeah.
guess, for the MCU. I guess so. I'm like, I'm just like trying to figure out where, where they're hitting for the villain. Like, it seems like we're making the mom be the villain because there's that one scene, just like in episode what one, or yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like you know what I'm talking about. Like, we
Yeah, where
got
she was threatening the guy that died.
yeah, and then we got this another scene just of her calling someone, say like, "Hey, I have a problem. Can you help me?" Or you know, in that like context, right?
hmm
And and obviously we got Elena in this episode, of course, Black Widow, and it adds more suspicious that okay, it's something's not right with the mom here, Kate's mom, and so
hmm
I feel like they're heading towards her as the main villain for the show.
Yeah. And I just think they should have revealed that by now.
Yeah, I know it's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's like
Especially since it's like very obvious and it's not going to be a twist.
yes, I I hate that. I didn't like that in Star Trek 2, Into Darkness. I'm sorry, Star Trek 2, Star Trek Into Darkness.
Mhm.
And I didn't like that in Captain Marvel. And oh my
Yeah.
god, it's just not. I mean, you can like I don't know, like you can make a good twist like Iron Man 3 or The Winter Soldier,
Mhm.
but I don't know, like why they're doing this. It's just it doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah.
Ugh, this is I'm sorry. I it frustrates me why we're doing that. It's like it's such an obvious like gimmick, and it's like you can use the gimmick well, and it's just I don't know. Like, it frustrates so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can either like not telegraph it and have it actually be surprising, or you can just like let the audience in on it and have like the dramatic irony of like the heroes don't know who they're fighting, but the audience does.
Yeah.
But to have the audience know, but not because you necessarily wanted them to know, or because they like, or yeah, or just like to have them know, but then not tell them much about that character
Yeah.
is just not rewarding.
Yeah, it's not more. And then it's like, for me, it's like it doesn't make sense, and it's like, why do we spend so much time on it? Because, and I think another problem with this right now for me is because we got so many red herrings, and it's like it's weird because what I'm trying to say here is like we got so many red herrings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're obviously me and you we're like picking up Kate's mom as the main villain,
Mm-hmm.
but like because this is a shared universe, it's like we're also having the conversation with Kingpin, and like is he gonna pop up here or echo her spinoff?
Yeah.
And it's like I like the red herrings, but like you cannot have too many red herrings because then that's gonna throw me off the loop.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't know what's really going on with this twist. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Just have two red herrings, the dad and then the mom, and I think that's it. And get rid of the Kingpin stuff. It's like we're not yet ready to introduce him again in the MCU.
Yeah. I think my theory for how the next two episodes could play out and have it be okay would be if in the next episode, and like pretty early on in the next episode, but I don't know, because then
Yeah.
they have to fight Yelena, and then Yelena reveals that the mom hired her,
Yes.
and then Yelena switches sides, and then in episode 6 they all fight the tracksuit mafia, and who is protecting the mom because they're on her payroll. And then at the very end, like the post-credit scene, is that the mom worked for Kingpin.
Right.
That's the only way to like wrap them all together.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just gonna feel very disjointed. But I also like I don't think they're gonna have Florence Pugh for more than one episode.
Yeah.
So I think it's not gonna be that satisfying to have her like fight Hawkeye, and then because that's like you're gonna have to have probably a full episode where they're fighting each other before she like switches sides.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. I like your idea. If we're not gonna take like here's my thinking of it. How we're gonna see it for next episode. We'll discover that the way the mom has kept, like made her business and like and company is by helping out, Val, who's in, being Val or any like, like secretive or like a crime organization, to stay out of like, police custody or surveillance, right? Because the company is a Bishop Security, right? They're like a home, like a security firm or something like that to track if your belongings or stuff like that are lost, or like you're not finding your person you're looking for, and like it's interesting because we got that in the show. It made me think, okay, maybe she's helping Val or other organizations to to keep track enemies or like or high profile people that maybe are in an interest of them in the future, right?
Right.
That's how I think that's where we're going to take Kate's mom, is that she is this very ambiguous figure that's like in this gray area, right?
Hmm.
And then the bigger villain is Kingpin, right? And like she's afraid of him, and like I like because that's the only way I can imagine it. Because um, I forgot to bring this up, or like people were expecting that Kate's mom is like an Iron Man villain called Madam,
Mask.
yeah, Madam Mask or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like that idea. I mean, I'm an Iron Man fan. I like that character, but it doesn't make sense with Kate's mom. Unfortunately, it's like because Madam is like a how to say it? Like she's like the tech version of Mystique from the
Right.
X-Men,
Yeah.
and I don't see that with that character. I feel like she's like a just original character for the show. It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, like, within my theory of what happens, I don't have a reason for Val to contact Yelena at the end of Black Widow. That's because that's the part that's making it not all connect for me.
yeah. Well,
Like, are they just gonna have Yelena be there just
uh-huh.
like because that's like it doesn't fit in the show. Then you're just forcing that in.
Yeah. I mean it. I saw like the Hawkeye writer uh, mentioned that they didn't know about the post credit scene.
Yeah,
So
I
I,
saw that
yeah,
earlier today, and that
yeah,
makes me worried.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and I feel like well, and of course when they were making Black Widow, they didn't expect to like Elena as a character, so it it's like okay, well we need to do something with this character.
hmm
So like Hawkeye was the only thing that makes sense for it to put in, or excuse me, or put her in Falcon and Winter Soldier, right before Black Widow, and like but then that just kind of throws you off with the continuity. So,
yeah,
um, I don't have a problem with the post credit scene. Like I can like it's actually easy. Like I think Kate's mom called Val to say, "Hey, can you help me with
okay,
this situation? Why?" And then because we don't know the timeline on how long that Val can go to Elena. Then after she got the call, Val goes to Elena, and I forgot the location where she was going to the grave for Natasha, and
yeah,
you know, um, uh, you know,
it's Ohio, I think, wherever they
yeah,
grew up as kids.
yeah, as Hyrule or something like that. Then there she gives like a report, like a mission report, like Mission Possible, or like
Yeah, yeah,
like that way, in a very comedic way,
yeah,
obviously. So
yeah. I could see that happen
yeah,
too, but then I'm having trouble figuring out why the tracksuits and possibly Kingpin are involved.
yeah. Uh, it's a comic book show.
Yeah,
We just
I mean
like to,
maybe they're not connected.
yeah.
Um,
I-
yeah, the okay. So Jack's uncle was killed by a sword.
yes,
Jack is the only person we've seen with a sword the entire time.
yes.
So it's not exactly a mystery.
So you think he's the villain?
I like it's either going to be that or they're going to be like, "Oh, by the way, this character that you either never seen before or have seen the whole time but has never held a sword throughout the show killed him."
Yeah, that's true. Or in this more crazy and funny theory,
Hmm.
it could be funny that the small kid from was it in episode one? Who was it? The third?
The seventh.
The
Yeah.
seventh? It could be funny that that kid killed him, and like it's a huge crazy twist. It's like, whoa, kid, killing this old, this auspicious early billionaire,
Yeah.
man.
It's
right? Like
Yeah.
I because like I don't know, because they're not doing a good job of like making Jack as a villain. Like I just felt
Right.
like
Like I don't want him to be a villain based on what we've
no,
seen. I want him to just be like a weird weird guy.
yeah, and great mustache as well. I dug his
Yes.
mustache. Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's very weird where they're heading. Um. But I guess we can like kind of get away from the villain theory theme because I think the one thing that is kind of impressive with this show that I think it totally like stumps the Falcon and Winter Soldier show is the character development for Clint and Kate.
Hmm.
Um, man, I really like that part, especially towards the end when Clint recognized that it was a Black Widow assassin, and I don't think he recognized Elena, so this is like the first time he's seeing her in this universe, right?
Hmm.
And I like how I like how he's like a responsible adult, and telling Kate, you should not get involved now with this whole thing because now it's much more dangerous and much more serious. And she like because Kate doesn't understand the implication of like what's going on, right?
Hmm.
So I really appreciate that, and and I like the banter between him, like Clint and Kate, and like especially how she gets into the billing and stuff. Like instead of like going like a very spy way that Clint wants it to be, she's like just goes in like very nonchalant, and like it's so great. And like that scene of her getting into the billing, I think Echo's billing was very funny. Especially when she was holding the guy's groceries and like she was talking to Clint in the ear um,
Hmm.
communication, and then he thinks she was crazy and like she's just talking to herself. It's too funny. um, what do you think about the Karen Van so far for the show in this episode? Because I think it's top notch. So
Sorry, you cut out for a second about the
character development for both of them
character
in this
development.
episode. Yeah,
Yeah, I like their chemistry. Um,
mm,
yeah, and I don't know. I'm in like a negative space this morning about the show for some reason because I enjoyed the episode and I watched it,
yeah,
but I felt like the tension at the end of the episode
yeah,
felt a little unearned.
yeah. That's true.
Um, but I really like their chemistry. I liked their banter as Kate was like going into the building while Hawkeye was on the roof.
Yeah, I like that too.
Um, yeah.
Um, yeah,
Um,
you brought up something that was like crucial. Is was it the breakup or
right. Yeah.
and I, I can see where you're coming from. I'm just waiting for the next episode. I think if that payoff is well done, um, I guess I understand where Clint is coming from. I feel like
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Clint has been apprehensive about having Kate there the entire time.
yeah,
So it's weird for him to like,
yeah, to
yeah, like it's not like he's like, it was fine until now. It's like he's been against it the whole time.
yeah. I I can see why. I mean, he's not like I I kind of like that because it shows who he is as a person. Like he's not
Mhm.
doing this the Stark thing. Like like how Stark recruited Pierre and Civil War.
Mhm.
Like I like the what's the word contracts. Like where Clint is kind of like doing the more appropriate like adult decision. Okay, I'm not gonna let this kid be my partner because she doesn't know the risk or the proper like procedure as a spy or hero. Because the thing is, Clint doesn't view himself as a hero. Like he thinks himself as an assassin, right? And so I feel like that's very clear on why he's doing it in this episode, and we get time and time again from the last so far this 4 episodes of him doing that. Like he's not comfortable of the attention he gets, like like autographs or like people giving him free stuff. Like that's not what he really wants. Like eh, you know he doesn't think himself. I think in episode 3 last week he mentioned how he's not a role model. And so like now, like I don't agree with that because I like Clint as a hero, but at the same time I can see where he's coming from because of the Rowan thing in Endgame, and of course the spy stuff is not really hero stuff. It's like legit assassination sometimes in spy work, right? And I feel like I think that's more of like a place of the character. What I'm seeing from the show, what they're saying about it, I think it's totally valid. It's just the way Kate, like how is Kate gonna respond to that in the next episode? And that's where I'm kind of curious where we're gonna go ahead to that. So I'm not too bad about that. I think that's very consistent of the character.
No, I mean I agree with all that. I think like you're just a kid. You shouldn't be doing this. Has been his stance the entire season.
Yeah.
So it's weird to play it up as like a big dramatic thing. Like I'm putting my foot down. You've been putting your foot down every episode.
Well, let's let me try to I think I agree with that because here's the thing. I like Kate Bishop as a character, but she is not she is a kid. Well, I mean her age is
she's like in her early 20s.
Yeah, early 20s. So that is so weird.
She's basically a kid. Yeah.
Like she's an adult. She has an apartment.
Well, her.
Well, her mom.
She's not paying for the apartment. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's very true.
She's very much still a kid.
Yeah, still a kid. Yeah. Oh, and that's I feel like that's the point of Clint. He's saying, yes, like she's a capable person, but like she's just still a kid, and she has this wide-eyed kid mentality. Like she, like she says stuff that is so goofy. Like she thinks to trick arrows, and she thinks Hawkeye is a superhero. Like those type of stuff. So I feel like I understand why Clint say she's you're a kid.
Yeah. No, I completely understand why he's saying it. I don't understand why the show's treating it like a dramatic rift between the characters when he's been saying that the entire time.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, you got Santa coming through there.
Yeah. Oh, this is funny. The Zoom headset professional audio in settings. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know. You had that before. You have the Santa Claus in the truck.
Yeah, the fire truck. They do that in my hometown too.
Yes, yes. It was this morning. I knew it was gonna happen today because I heard it way farther in the back during our discussion. Oh my God. Oh God. Well, folks, I think that would be the best moment of my life in this podcast. Is that
Santa came to visit.
Yeah. Well, and Santa has come to my house, folks. And speaking of Santa Claus, I'm still digging the Christmas setting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's get into that. I really dug those neat festive things they did in this episode. I really go from there, Will. I really dug that. I love the moment of Kate, getting the tree, doing the ugly sweaters as usual. what they were making.
Those like slushy things. I think they were
Yeah.
margarita mixes.
Okay, margarita.
I
Okay,
think.
makes sense.
Um, yeah, I really liked that scene. I thought it showed um, Kate's character and like it strengthened the relationship between the characters.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good like extension of that scene from the third episode where
Yes.
Kate was helping him talk to his son because she like felt guilty that he was the reason he couldn't be home for Christmas. So in this one, that continued, and she like brought Christmas to him.
Yeah,
I
and
thought that was a nice touch.
yeah, and um I like that she say not only we're gonna solve this, this case, I'm also gonna get you to your family in 6 days. Like I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like she's very open minded, and so I really think that was a good way to um forward their relationship in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I like was like Clint teaching her that trick. Um,
Yeah,
that was
the
also
party trick.
yeah the yeah I feel like
Yeah.
that was a cool and just important scene to see of like him like accepting her as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the last 3 episodes, I mean, the third episode, it was a good. The third episode, what I like about it was him communicating her finally as a person and
Mm-hmm.
not dodging her from the first 2 episodes. And then here, I like how he kind of loosened up with her and like, okay, if you're gonna be with me, then I need to accept you as like a temporary partner, stuff like that. Um, that was very good. And then I think was like right after that, Clint needed arrows, the trick arrows, and
Mm-hmm.
okay, and this is where I was thinking this last Wednesday. Did the police get his trick arrows? Like how was that pounded? Like
Uh,
that was the part where I was like, wait, that did we see that in the show? Like I don't
they
remember.
must have. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know why the police would have his trick arrows.
Or they get that from the black market from episode 1, but
No, I think maybe. Huh. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
yeah,
And maybe they just like picked them up from the wake of destruction they left behind after their car chase, but
yeah.
I don't know.
So I guess, but no, but like Clint had that on his, like he didn't left anything behind from that bridge. So
No, I mean he would have left. I mean they left a lot behind.
oh really?
They left,
Okay. All right.
the only one that I saw him pick up again was the plunger arrow, but then they used
Yeah.
it when they were on the subway. I think yeah, because it was like a plot point that the only arrow that he had left to give Kate was the USB arrow, so she had to bluff
Oh,
while they were escaping.
that's true. Okay,
Yeah, and then he had the grappling hook arrow and the plunger arrow, and that was it.
that was it. Okay, that makes sense. I was very confused at that moment. I was like, wait, what? And I was gonna say just now before you just totally explain it better. I just thought they just made that excuse to just see the other people from the fair again.
The LARPers, yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
Lopers. Another great scene from this episode. I totally dug that, and Kate getting into the whole thing, like
yeah. Kate fully embracing it, while Clint had just kind of begrudgingly,
begrudgingly
yeah,
had to do it.
yeah,
Yes. Oh my god. Um, yeah,
yeah,
that scene was funny, and just the way Kate say, "Oh, I'm here. Well, I was signed from Hawkeye and all that."
yeah. They believed her real quick.
Yeah,
Uh,
but then
just a random like teenager walks up to you wearing like purple leather, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
Clearly, she works with Hawkeye.
yeah.
Never seen her before, but yeah, we'll steal police evidence for you.
Yeah. Was she wearing her suit, or was she just with Pizza Dog? And
I think she was wearing the purple outfit,
okay,
and she was carrying a bow and arrow.
yeah. I think I think that was believable because I mean they're in a superhero universe, like they know about the Avengers and like and
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know. I just it
see,
oh man, that the cop that got the arrows is very corrupt.
yeah,
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 I'll steal this from the evidence locker.
yeah, definitely.
Um,
Um,
if you do me a favor, is some
I mean,
ethically questionable.
well, let's be fair here. I mean, Batman has done unethical decisions. I mean, The Dark
Yeah, no,
Knight,
I
like,
from like
I
a net like she's helping the good guy, but just like in principle, it's some
yeah,
this it's not the kind of thing you want police doing,
or people seeing, but
right? But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, um, yeah, yeah, that was weird. Yeah, but I mean, I, I don't think it's like a important. I
no,
feel
I
like that
it,
it's like
yeah,
an oversight. Like I don't know, like what.
no, it's definitely like the way that it was presented in the show. That's not going to be a consideration.
Yeah,
I just was something I picked up on. It's like if an actual cop did that, it'd be real bad.
yeah, and everyone is a cop as well. Like, well,
They're all first responders.
yeah,
So some of them are cops and others are firefighters or EMTs.
yeah. Okay, I guess so. Oh, and I guess speaking like I I think I want to mention this because it's interesting because Clint um because I forgot that another thing during his um his talk to his wife again, and
Mm-hmm.
we need to discuss about the wife because she also having now theories because people think she could be the version of Mockingbird, like she was a former Shield agent and
Right.
stuff like that. um I forgot that in this episode they mentioned how Jack is a criminal, like he was like a laundry, like he has a operation or something like that. So that supports the idea that Jack is a villain, but like
Mm-hmm.
where we're taking it is where I'm like, where I'm getting at here. Like, is it another red herring, right?
Right.
Um, and then like Echo has the names of Clint's family, which I'm curious where we're gonna do with that for next episode or episode 6, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm just remembering that part because do you think they're gonna do something with the wife? Like she was like a former Shield agent. Like,
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, like you think she's gonna be the version of Mockingbird in this show? Like she's gonna be Bobby, but a new version of Bobby in this MCU.
It could be.
I mean, it could happen because
Yeah. I think it makes sense.
right because in the comics, Bobby was with Clint, and obviously we
Yeah.
didn't do that in Agent of Shield.
Right.
So uh, yeah, I just thought to bring that up because I know that was another talking point this week about that. Um, yeah. Okay. Is there anything else we have to talk about? I'm like, I think that's.
We talked about the LARPers. Oh, they're gonna make his costume.
Oh yes,
Yeah. That's
that's
I
funny.
don't yeah,
Um,
I don't think it's necessary.
I don't
Um
know.
I mean his comic costume is so goofy
Oh,
and
I
it
mean,
doesn't fit this like version of the character at all. I don't know. I don't need to see it.
know.
But maybe they'll do a version of, like, I know the costume that he had during the run that this is based on was pretty good, but
Yeah,
that's just basically just a brighter version of the costume he's had the whole time.
yeah, that's true. I think he's getting more like I saw like if you've been paying attention to like the ads for Disney Plus or like the first trailer, like we do see like him wearing a new suit, but like it's
Okay.
just full of purple and
Yeah.
he doesn't
Okay.
wear a mask. So
Yeah. Okay. It's really the mask that I take
yeah,
issue with. So if
I
it's
don't
just a purple costume, then that's good.
yeah. I'm not sure about that. I don't think we're getting like a mask for Hawkeye. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Man, I
it'll be
don't need to see him with a big H on his forehead.
yeah. I mean, it'd be funny if they did it, and I'll be just laughing and just giddy for excitement to see that and to see Jeremy Renner wear a mask. Um, but I mean, we did a good job of like nodding the costume, like as I mentioned, I think last week, where they
Mm-hmm.
deleted it from episode 2, but
Yeah.
then Kate draw one. So we're not going there. We're just, I think we're like, I think towards the end of the series, we're like gonna make Hawkeye be like an actual hero, like we're branding Hawkeye family, like he is,
Yeah.
because that's the other thing we haven't mentioned is like we haven't named him Hawkeye, or he never has like a very distinct costume. It's always black and just a little bit
Yeah.
of color, you know?
I think he is. I mean, he is called Hawkeye in universe for sure. But
Endgame dropped the name there, like the
yeah,
first.
and he's well in the very first Avengers movie, um, Dr. Selvig refers to him as the Hawk.
Oh yeah.
So I think it was just his shield code name.
I mean, I never like these movies try to make a way to name the characters. It's like just call them with their ear.
You just do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a relic of the like late 2000s, early 2010s, where superhero stuff was like embarrassed to be superhero stuff.
yeah. It's. I mean, at least it's. I mean, well, it's like far worse for the villains, which I don't
Yeah.
like. So yeah yeah yeah. I mean, I I have no like dogfight about the name, but I mean, it'd be kind of cool to see him call Hawkeye. I mean, we have mentioned Hawkeye a couple of times. I like the joke from
People have been calling him Hawkeye throughout the show, at least.
yeah. So yeah, it's I guess it's because like I never like every time we see this version, it's like we never call him that. We always call him Clint or Barton, right?
Right.
And I don't know, like it's been like 13 years of the MCU, and it's like it's because it's like it's weird for me, not for you, Will, because it's weird for me because like this universe is not like the superhero universe you're expecting. Like there's no secret identities. I mean, to have one for Spider-Man, of course, now that's out of the bag now because of
No, yeah.
yeah. And so like scenes like the the Lerper people, it's because like they know them, like
right,
and
yeah, they're celebrities instead of yeah.
So at first you're weird out about it, but then in hindsight, it's like, well, it actually makes sense. I'm with you with that. It's so like it's not like the DC universe where everyone has secret identities and like have, you know lives and stuff like that. But but yeah. But I mean, at least we got a good joke for the name Hawkeye, like the goodness they didn't call you Hawkeye or hockey.
Hockey or yeah.
Oh god, I love that. Oh my. Anything else we have to talk about? I think we covered everything. Um, right? Right? Oh, I'm sorry. We haven't talked about Elena, right?
Right, yeah.
And that was like, I think that was our big discussion when every time we were bringing up, oh, like the next show was Hawkeye, and we were excited to see Elena, the Black Widow from the movie, coming
Hmm.
into this show, right? And I was very excited about it because we were now enthused about the show, and now she was coming in, and this episode was it, and I agree with you, Will. Like she felt very short, shoehorned in
Hmm.
lately. Um, like I mean, it was no secret that she was coming. Like that was the thing. It's like people make such a big deal out of it. It was like, she was coming. It was just like how she was gonna be in the story was where I'm like, you know. But yeah, I thought it was cool to see her with the goggles, like in the
Hmm.
comics.
Yeah.
Um, I dug the red, um, was it widow stinger that you
Hmm.
usually see for the Tasha, which was blue, but here I like it was red. And it was a cool fight, and it was also a cool fight with Echo. I actually dug that whole ending with the fight for all yeah, four people, um and I was kind of surprised she didn't talk. That was the thing. But then, like how she was able to talk, during this commotion, right? And so,
Hmm.
but overall, it was underwhelmed for me, and I was like, okay. So I was like, I think I was more engaged with Clint and Kate's relation than the whole like Elena was in the show. And fine, but that's my opinion.
Hmm.
So I think you were right. It was like she felt very shorthand, and hopefully she does more for next episode. You know, but then I kind of feel like we don't need her. I like well we need her because like we've been talking about Black Widow in the show too. So I I just feel like we need to address the Endgame stuff. Um, like we should address more of the Tasha death more because the
Hmm.
Black Widow movie didn't do it well, and I I feel like this show has a chance to kind of um like finally satisfy me to address the Tasha's death more properly than the Black Widow movie did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Um,
I what do you think? Um,
I mean, I think it definitely has the opportunity to do that. I don't know if it has the time to do that in the next two episodes and also do everything that the show is trying to do.
yeah, and that's my concern.
Yeah.
Moving for this week's um yeah, yeah, uh, yeah, hopefully it goes well. um okay, I think we addressed Elena finally. I'm kind of happy. um I think this was a pretty dense episode. Like there was a lot going on for this episode.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, um and, and man, 2 more weeks, 2 more episodes, and that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And of course, next Friday is Spider-Man No Way Home. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. Oh my god, my friends, because my best friend Chris' birthday is next week.
Hmm.
Wants to see this film um badly, and oh my god, I'm not ready. I am not ready for next Sunday to see this film. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I'm seeing it too. It's next Sunday.
Okay, next Sunday. Okay, because yeah. So after I'm done with you doing the podcast, I'm gonna hit to the movie theaters and see with them. And
Hmm.
I think we're having discussion at seeing another film. It's the new Guillermo Guillermo del Toro film, Nightmare Alley.
Hmm.
With Bradley Cooper and Kate Blanchett. So that's exciting. Well, hopefully I can find the right times. But yeah, thank you, Will, for joining me. This was a very productive discussion on episode 4. Uh, any last thoughts before we head out?
I mean, I feel like I've been pretty critical of the show today.
Yeah,
I just want to say, like, I am enjoying it. Like, it's fun. Like, I do like it.
yeah. I'm been neutral. I've been. I mean, what was the word I just say right now? Neutral. I've been neutral with the show. I mean,
Mhm.
it's giving me what I want: character development and action, and that's all I want from my shows, you know. And
Yeah,
they're doing a good job with that.
yeah. I just wanted this one to be fun, and it has been.
Oh
Um,
yes. Yeah. No. I think this is fun. It's um, like I don't like dogging the fucking Winter Soldier, but you know, because we've been mentioning how similar it is. But
mhm.
one thing that the show doesn't have where I can enjoy this show more is because it's not like it's not political heavy like that show was. Like
Yeah, it doesn't like take itself seriously,
yeah,
and it's not. It doesn't have like a serious message behind it the way Falcon and the Winter Soldier did.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
which like I liked the message of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I think I enjoy the levity of a show that doesn't have that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and
I agree.
also I'm not sure how well Falcon and the Winter Soldier did at
I think it did.
exploring the political message. It did okay.
Yeah,
It didn't fail, but it
well,
wasn't. It could have done better.
yeah. Well, and it's kind of interesting because a lot of people are saying this has been the lowest watch for a Hawkeye for a Disney Plus show for
Yeah,
Marvel, and I mean, I guess I don't know, like maybe it's because the conversation has been kind of like similar to the Falcon Winter Soldier, but like it hasn't been like I don't know,
well,
it's lacking something. Like for me, it's not like Loki where that was so exciting because you know not only Tom Hiddleston was heading for a show finally, like having his
mhm.
own like spotlight, but like it also had like a fan theory that became true with Kane
Mhm.
and like
Right.
that became like it became fruition. And like it wasn't like um, a misdirect like a One Division or this show is like heading to actually.
Yeah. I don't know if you could call the WandaVision one a misdirect.
No.
I think
It was
the
the thing
fans misdirected themselves.
exactly. But it didn't
Uh,
hurt the show. I mean, people like
yeah.
like
No,
there's
I love WandaVision's still
yeah
my favorite of the shows.
yeah exactly and um it I don't know like I think like well and also I feel like One Division and Loki had like personality and
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like this show kind of is lacking in it, but like it's not too much like Falcon and Winter Soldier, where it did lack
Yeah.
personality.
I I think the reason that viewership is down on this one is just because like WandaVision was it had the benefit of being the first one. So people were tuning in to see what a Marvel Studios like TV show would look like.
Right,
Um, and then it was like weird. So people were like tuning in to see what it was about.
right.
And then it was really well done. So they stayed. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier was like riding off of WandaVision's success. And also, I know like Sebastian Stan is really popular. So I'm sure there were people that were just watching it for him. Loki, same thing with Tom Hiddleston. And also just like the character of Loki is really interesting.
Yes,
Whereas Hawkeye has like consistently been like the butt of the joke. Like, who cares about Hawkeye? So
yeah.
it's not surprising that his show is the one that gets the lower viewership. I don't think it's necessarily a comment on the quality of the show.
No. I think you're right, Will. Yeah. And especially with this Leia inclusion, like I mean, it has been discussion for a while, but like in this episode, it was like underwhelming, and like it didn't like that wasn't the main discussion for this week. But
Right.
yeah, I agree with your statement. And yeah, and the most part, I enjoyed the Winter Soldier stuff in that show than the Falcon stuff because that was just all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very curious about the next year with the new Disney Plus shows. I'm very curious about that.
Yeah. There aren't any that I'm like excited about.
Yeah. I when we get done with this show, Hawkeye, I'm hoping we can do a podcast on a like an overall review of Disney Plus shows and like do a ranking, and then
Okay.
like because I really want to have that discussion because it's been very fun for this whole year, and I'm curious how it's gonna be for next year,
Hmm. Yeah.
and like what setups we're gonna get because One Division is a very important show to see before you see Doctor Strange too, you know,
Hmm.
in the multiverse of madness, and um, and then Loki as well because Loki's has a season 2, and that's kind of curious um, where that's gonna go. So I'm very curious to have a more broad discussion of the Disney Plus shows, how they did, what was the positive and the negatives, and like and how we rank these shows. And we also had to include What If because that is also connected.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we'll discuss that, in a later date. So,
Yeah. Okay.
anything else to discuss? I think we covered everything with this show in episode 4.
Yeah, I think I'm all right.
Okay, that's cool. Well, thank you, Will. This is, I think, the most enjoyable discussion we have for this show. It's been very fun.
Yeah, I've had fun too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Will.
Yeah.
So no further ado, me will be back for next week for episode 5. So have a good weekend, you guys, and hit that subscribe button and see you guys soon. Bye.